Hi, everybody. We hope you all are having a great weekend. We wanted to join you tonight to talk a little bit about the 2024 Boston Red Sox. And I say that kind of with a smile and a little grin on my face because spring training has begun. And I already wish that it already didn't begin because it is an absolute joke as the current stance of this team heading into their 2024 season. So, in case you don't know who I am, I'm Nick. Brendan also here tonight to talk a little bit about what the hell is happening with the Boston Red Sox. So I'd like to lead it off first with yes, spring training has begun. And yes, some players are actually there. The pitchers and catchers are there. Your manager is kind of there, kind of for now. And we are now without another person for the bullpen. So we learned this week that John Schreiber was traded to the Kansas City Royals, and the Red Sox dumped him off for a minor league right-hander by the name of David Sandlin. He is ranked number 20 from the Royals prospect system. Last year, he went 4-2 with a 3.41 ERA, and he threw 68.2 innings, 90 strikeouts, 18 walks, 250 opponent batting average. Where do you stand on this move, Brendan, before I give my take?
Look, I think he's like the 19th ranked prospect or something from Kansas City. Another pitching prospect that they're lacking for sure. They brought in Fitz. They brought in this kid now. They're looking at Duran in San Diego for Lesko. They're trying to stock up on Worcester pitching right now. They need it, that's for sure. They have bulk in the bullpen. The big thing that this move did was it freed up a roster spot. But the way Sox fans will feel about it is, look, we're downgrading our big league club to upgrade our AAA club. Kansas City has been all in on the big league club. Seth Lugo. Now they're bringing in John Schreiber. They're trying to upgrade that team. Us, on the other hand, we're about the pipeline right now. And it all depends on what the Red Sox do with the roster spot. If they don't do anything, if they don't get Montgomery, what does it matter? Doesn't matter anything. And I
Are
don't
you
believe they will
still
get
holding
Montgomery because
out
we're going to
hope?
get into extension talks, and I don't think they're willing to push any wallet at anyone.
I was going to say before you continued, are you still holding out hope that there's actually going to be more things happening with this team, meaning free agent, meaningful signings? Oh,
I
please, my
doubt it.
heart almost stopped. Okay.
I doubt it. That's the only thing I could think of as a positive note. Try to bring a little bit of glass half full. But the only thing positive about it is it opens up a roster spot if they do anything with it. I'll believe it when I see it at the end of the day.
Schreiber had a up and down season last year. He was hurt for a good amount of time. He came back and he was hittable. It was not like 2022 when he first came up and he was pretty much your eighth inning guy. Did a real solid job and became something of a talking point for a depth piece in that bullpen. Was he being counted on as a high leverage reliever entering this season? I would say probably not. You're still looking at your Chris Martins. For now, Kenley Jansen, you're still looking
Bernardino.
at him. He's still there. Even him, Brendan, I'm not sold on seeing a same old like we saw from 2023. I'll believe it when I see it. I'm not holding much onto that one. I'm not holding much of this team onto anything right now. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. This is the worst Red Sox team right now in my lifetime. I can absolutely say this with a straight face. I'm not BSing you. This is the worst put together Red Sox team, top to bottom, in my lifetime. And I'm 30, whatever. I'll even take right now the 2001 Boston Red Sox. That was when Pedro was hurt. Nomar was hurt. Derek Lowe was kind of that. Try to figure it out going from closer to starting pitcher mode. You at least had some names that fans could get excited about. You don't have one name on this roster right now who is a bona fide superstar talent that I'm going to go to Fenway Park and watch and sit through another miserable season with. Do not come at me and say Tristan Casas is an up-and-coming star. Do not tell me Brayan Bello is a superstar pitcher. Do not tell me Jarren Duran is going to set the world on fire and become the next Jacoby Ellsbury. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me Rafi Devers is a superstar. No. And those fans out there that continue to ad nauseum scream for these kind of players, extensions, all that jazz, grow up, because you need some hard reality thrown at you. This team is unacceptable right now, and all you people are doing by remaining positive on this whole thing is giving John Henry and Sam Kennedy what they want. It's what you're doing. Don't give them any wiggle room, because what you see right now should not be acceptable in this city for everything it stood for. It is a laughingstock and embarrassment, just as Ken Rosenthal has said. And when you have big-time reporters out there saying those sorts of things, that should speak volumes to what you're putting together from here. It's a sin, Brendan.
Yeah, Nick, and I know the big reason behind why everyone wants the extension talks is because they're worried about leaving a free agency and all this. This is their last shot to get a team-friendly deal. At the end of the day, if Tristan Casas hits open market and his value is north of like 260 or something crazy like that, good for him. Like, I want to pay him everything he's worth. You know, I think if he earns it, he earns it. At what the fans want right now is to lock him up on this really team-friendly deal, like 120 over 8 or something crazy like that. And he's not going to take that. You know, he's not going to take that. He's got to earn it. We're going to see it this year if he can pull a consistent full season instead of the tough start that he had, and then he turned it on towards July. What we want to see is if he can do it again. And it's important to lock him up.
That's my big thing, Brendan, is I just feel like we've got to see this again. We saw him get hurt. He had a horrific April. Don't you remember screaming, "Oh, it's time to put Justin Turner to first base, bring up somebody from Pawtucket, from Worcester. Who are we screaming for from there?" What was it? The catcher. It was the catcher that ended up getting released. Who was Alfaro? We were screaming for Alfaro.
Yeah. Oh,
Don't you remember that?
Alfaro.
We were screaming for him.
I forgot about that.
And then
the error he had.
Started to figure it out
for the second
and get it all going. Right? Yeah, exactly. And he started.
I forgot about that.
I'm all for this guy. I want to root for him. I'm not saying that I'm not a fan of his, but I can't tell you that it's time to give this guy an extension right now. You got to see a little bit more before we start calling spade a spade. We've got to stop this, fans. Even look at, I've been going back, and Brendan, I was telling you off camera, I was reminiscing a little bit. And there was an awesome channel that's on YouTube, Bruno something, that has showcasing all the old Red Sox games from your 99s, 2000, 2001, 2, 3, whatever you want. It's there. And even those I'm starting to watch, like the up-and-coming Trot Nixon coming to town, and Pedroia coming up, and Nomar first getting his taste, Papelbon, all these guys that are we're starting to figure out their role. Slow and steady wins the race. And here's one thing that I will say I would be in agreement with, at least John Henry and Craig Breslow from stuff. I don't feel like Brayan Bello and Tristan Casas have earned an extension right now. I can fully admit that right now. And if they end up going out and they have to spend a little bit more, that's great for them. I want them to prove that. But to sit here and say I'm going to give a 7-8 year extension to those two guys is infuriating and is very, very poor money management, because we need to see more of that as we continue here. I want them to be great. I hope they are great. I hope that the future looks bright for them. But right now, I'm even looking at the Rafi Devers extension right now, and I'm laughing about it, because I think it's going to go down as a contract that we shake our head and say, why? Because
he's going to be a DH sooner than you think.
He should be a DH right now. He should not be a third baseman. He looks
should be a
like
DH
Free
right
Willy
now.
over at third
Like,
base. No, I'm not trying to say he's Pablo Sandoval large and everything, but if a ball is hit to him, I'm scared to death on what's going to happen with it. I just want to be honest here with it. I don't know if it's going to sail over your first Casas's head. I don't know if it's going to go through his legs. I don't know if he's going to kick it. I don't know what's going to happen over there. We have also some talk with spring training that it looks like from John Tomasi reporting that there's already this, oh, the season's over kind of mentality. He said the only one right now that's holding his head up high and having somewhat of a gumption and a let's get going here and let's figure it out is Trevor Story. That scares me because, again, you're trusting Trevor Story to not be hurt and to come back with a vengeance and be a Trevor Story of Coors Field like. I'm sorry. I don't see that happening. I just don't. Doom and gloom is not what I'm trying to be here, but I'm trying to say you need to look at this team and you need to go into this season understanding that if this team even gets above the last place spot, it'll be a shock and a surprise for this year going in. Sorry.
It could be a success.
I'd love to be wrong. I'd love to see this team eat up and say to all you people out there, screw you. Screw you. We're better than what you all screamed and told us. But the roster that's been assembled right now is what I have to go off of. And I see no hope, no desire, no will to win, no chance to fix. This is what you see right here. The team that you have going into spring training right now, it's 9 times out of 10 who you're going to have this season. And that is last place written all over it. Worse than last year, Brendan.
Oh, it is. I think the defense might be a little better, but I think the bats are going to drop significantly. I think Justin Turner was a huge loss that we're gonna see. I think Jordan Montgomery would fix a lot of problems, but they're too
Alex
stingy.
Verdugo is even a huge loss for this team right now.
Which is wild.
Say that again. Alex
wild
Verdugo is a huge loss for your team. It is huge. You also do not have a second baseman right now that
they're
we
both
can
in
fully
AL
say
East teams too.
That you can fully say that you trust going into the season. Vaughn Grissom has every chance in the world to also be good, but we're saying a lot of ifs. If he's good,
platooning.
If Trevor Story comes back and does well, if Rafi Devers takes the next step, if Tristan Casas is there, if, not he will, or this is how it's going to be. I'm sorry, but growing up as a Red Sox fan, I'm not trying to say was spoiled rotten here, but we've been through some of the dark times of the 90s and the early 2000s. We know what's unacceptable, and this right here is piss poor.
It is, Nick. We're in for a long one. Northeastern's up first, I think, on was it Thursday?
So, count that as a win.
We'll see how that one goes.
BC too. Go Huskies, Go Eagles. That will do it for our lovely rant on how at least I'm feeling and Brendan's feeling heading into the season. Brendan's a little bit more optimistic as I am, but we'll see. We hope you all enjoy. If anything else happens, which I highly doubt it will, we'll come back and we'll talk more and maybe we'll reminisce about the old days about your greats of Nomars and Pedros and Schillings and Ortiz and Ramirez and all those awesome players where you don't even have one of those types on your team anymore. So that will do it for this one.